There's this scene in the drone bay between Nat and Bert where the two of them are in this terrible accident together and they're both injured. And this is something where, when we arrived at this being one of the scenes in the game, I kind of naturally had to draw from an experience I had where my wife and I were in a motorbike accident. And, that was a really traumatic, scary experience for me. Yeah, I think probably the hardest part of that to relive or draw from is, there's the part in that scene where Bert is thrown off the ladder and hits her head and is knocked out, and Nat also falls down the ramp, but then she turns and just sees Bert lying there and calls out to her and doesn't get any response. And, I have a very vivid memory. In our accident, a car ran a red light and went right in front of us, and the motorbike went straight into the side of the car. And I was thrown into the intersection, and Rachel just hit the side of the car and ended up basically right where the accident happened. And so, I was thrown probably a couple dozen feet and ended up in the middle of the intersection. And, first I saw that my leg was broken, and I was like, I probably shouldn't look at that anymore. And then I looked over and saw Rachel lying there with her back to me, just like in the fetal position on the ground, just not moving. And, I called out to her, and I didn't know if she was alive or not. And that's a crazy position to be in. And that's the position that Nat was in. It's just like, I see you lying there. I don't know what's happened to you. And I can't. Because the kind of unbearable moment in that scene where Nat is just dragging herself across the floor to Bert is something that I didn't do because I started to. And then people ran up to me and were like, stop. Okay, I'm going to go check on her. You stay here, right? But that moment of uncertainty when somebody you care about is clearly injured and you don't know how bad. It was a crazy thing to live through, and I'm glad that, for us it worked out because we're both pretty much fine now. It was one of those things where when I realized I was writing this scene, I kind of knew some of the things that had to go into it, but it doesn't always make it that easy to actually have to live back through to put it into the game.